As always, cheers, my friends. My favorite. You know what it is. All right. This is one of those videos that could have gone a million different ways. So much in terms of records and art have happened in the last few weeks. Oh my gosh. So I've sort of thought this out, but it's unscripted. So hopefully I won't meander too long. But first of all, I want to talk about Grails. And a lot of you vinyl collectors know about Grails. For example, you find a First State Beatles Butcher cover. You know, that is a Grail. And particularly if you find one that's autographed by all four Beatles, whoa, it's like, you could retire, you know. But there are many kinds of Grails in terms of vinyl collecting. A lot of people go after the expensive, hard to find, rare things that they can flip or just brag about. And others, like me, for example, Grails are things that I really want, that I've been looking for years and haven't found them for whatever reason. They may not necessarily be valuable, they may not necessarily be rare, but they are records that mean something to me that I've missed somehow. Okay, sometimes it takes me years to find these. All right, this goes back to 1970, there or about, circa 1970. There was a radio station I used to listen to. I was still a teenager, still in high school, and in the evenings they would play all kinds of either psychedelic or progressive music, and oh, I loved that station. So one night they were playing this record, and it was like, wow, what is this? This is out there. This is really strange. I like this. And they played, like, I think almost like a whole album side of this record. And at the end, the DJ said, whoa, that's shades of Uriah Heep. But he never said who the artist was, or what the song was, or what the album was. So, over the course of the next few days, the guy played another track from the album. And same thing, he never said the artist's name, what song it was, what album it was. So, I went to the phone book, I made some phone calls, I went to the library. You got to remember, 1970, this was before the internet. You had to do things the hard way. You had to go look for things or make some phone calls or do something. So I remember the radio station numbers, whatever, like, you know, WBDJ or something, whatever it was. So I found the radio station, found the address of the radio station. I knew the DJ's name. It was Dave McCree, my favorite DJ of that time. So I typed up a little letter and sent him a self-addressed stamped envelope. And I quoted in that letter the day that I first heard that song, what time of night it was. I even mentioned that he had said Shades of Uriah Heep, but he never said the title. And I asked him, would you please just write down the name of the album and on the postcard and send it back. Few weeks later, postcard comes back. And the guy said, wow, you've got a good memory. He said, sorry I didn't tell you the name of the group, but the name of the group is Touch, and it's from their album called Touch on the Coliseum label from about 1969. I said, wow, okay. Now, how am I ever going to find that? None of the local record stores carried anything like that. Every time I go out of state or whatever, or out of town, I would go to the record store and look. And another one of those deals. Well, about 25 years ago, I was traveling somewhere in, who knows where. It was probably somewhere down north of South Carolina. I was either on vacation or just traveling through, and I stopped by a record store that had a used bin, and I found this. This is a British, I believe it's a British reissue of Touch. Had a little gatefold. This is on the Durham label. It's a mono, and it's VG. It's a VG copy, but I was still thrilled. So this is it. Also noticed it said a spectacular color poster enclosed, but of course it did not have the poster. So okay, that's fine. So years go by. I probably could have got online and, you know, went to Discogs later or through eBay and found a copy, but I just didn't want to do that. Either the copies that I found online were either beat or they wanted too much money for. Well, my VC buddy Chris has the spins. Okay, he's got a nice YouTube channel. He was recently showing some fine videos. He had a series of them where he had contacted this guy somehow and bought his record collection. And they were all like either $2 or 50 cents a piece. And he was showing these records, and right in the middle of one of his videos, he pulls this out. This is an original Touch LP on the Coliseum label, and you notice this is a different type of gatefold. Plus, it has the poster, and the poster kind of opens up the same way. And let me tell you, this is one wild poster. It's got almost like Mandelbrot fractal images, decades before Mandelbrot fractal images kind of became a thing. So I contacted Chris. I said, man, would you possibly be interested in selling that or swapping it? And he messaged me back. He said, okay, sure. He said, you know, basically make me some offers. So I did. We went back and forth a few times. There's the label. Until I finally come up with a deal that was happy for both of us. So now I've got my Grail. Like I said, it's not necessarily a very valuable record, but it has a lot of sentimental value to me. So Chris, thank you so much. And I hope that for your end of the bargain that you're really enjoying what you got for this. Thank you so much. Any of you watching that may be interested, I'll put a link to Chris's YouTube channel below. Check him out, man. Go subscribe. He's got some cool videos, a lot of neat stuff. All right. Well, another landmark. This past week, I had a birthday, and on the day of my birthday, if you remember a few videos back, I had VCLT from RT. Okay, RT, the guy doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he watches VC videos. Well, he sent me another VCLT. This time I was just kind of flabbergasted that he sent another one. And it arrived on my birthday. And I won't go through everything, but just this is some of what he had sent, okay? Here's a nice Sinatra. This is a recent Sinatra. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. Look here. Los Lobos. This is an original master recording, mobile fidelity. Holy cow. Sent me a nice copy of the first Rush album. A nice recent issue of Led Zeppelin 3. Beautiful, beautiful, near mint. Sent me another Stevie Ray Vaughan. This is a QRP edition. Spectacular sounding. And this is one that I was really stoked that he sent. Steve Miller Band Anthology. This is an anthology of, I think, from like about the first 4 Steve Miller Band albums. Collection of some nice late 60s Steve Miller. But wait, there's more. I went to visit my dad and my son, and my wife was in for a few days, so we went over to visit, and I really wasn't expecting much, but my wife said, "Sit down, I've got something for you." And I said, "Well, okay." So she said, "I want you to sit down." She brought me this bag. Hold on, let me get this. And it had this box in it, and I thought, well, okay, what the heck is this? I opened up the bag, and this was in there. The complete island recordings of Bob Marley and the Wailers. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh my. I've just been so excited with this. I just haven't gone through everything in there yet. It's just so much. A lot of really, really cool Bob Marley album records. Holy crap. And I love the fact that it's like a giant Zippo lighter. Yeah, all right. Get ready to light a big old spliff with this thing, yeah. Oh, wow. Mind blown. It was just, that was just overwhelming. I mean, I think I actually teared up when I saw that. So I tell you, I've got a great family that really supports my vinyl addiction in a nice way. All right, now, besides that, there was a baby shower. Guess what? We're expecting a great grandchild. Another great grandchild. So we had members of the family coming in, and our daughter from South Carolina, it was either North or South, I forget exactly. But anyway, she come in, and she said, "Hey, I got a box of records for you." I said, "Oh, really?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "I went by a yard sale, and this guy had a box of records, and he sold them all to me for $10, and so I brought them to you." Cool. Another birthday present, another surprise. So I won't go through everything that was in the box, because there was a stack of stuff. And it was like, well, you saw that stuff that I had from RT. Same deal. It was in a big box, a stack of stuff like that. I just can't go through all of it. But here's just a few examples of what was in that box that my that our daughter found in. So here, another Stevie Ray Vaughan, Van Halen, 1984. Nice copy of Hotel California and In the Long Run by the Eagles. Now these were sweet. Let me show you these. This must have been some teeny bopper back about 1966, 67. Had these in there. These are all kind of beat. You can see they got writing on there. Like, oh, they got the names of the boys on there. And but these are some cool records. Dave Clark 5 Return on Epic. The Searchers. This was nice. Oh, what was the song on here? Love Potion number 9. Great album. Billy J. Kramer with the Dakotas. Little Children. This has got some cool stuff on there. Some Beatles covers. And then this Peter and Gordon, Lady Godiva. They all cleaned up quite nicely. Sound great. Tickled. Stoked. And oh, this was also in that box. All right, Tommy, the Who. I made sure that I told the story to Sarah about Tommy. 1969. I was mowing yards, doing odd jobs. I spent a lot of money that I made on records. Here's my original copy from 1969 of Tommy. Okay, it's been through the ringer, but I guarantee you it's a VG Plus copy. Well, some years ago, for whatever reason, I lost the little libretto, the little booklet that came with it that had the lyrics and the photographs, and it's been hard to find one. It's like I could go out and buy another copy of Tommy, you know, pay whatever, $40 for it, you know, and I thought, nah, I can't do that. But anyway, she bought that little box that she bought for $10, had all those records in there, and guess what? It had the little booklet in there. I was so thrilled. I went out there and I told this big long story about this album to Sarah, and she was like, wow. Oh man. So, and even though this here is about the same thing, it's got a few little dings and some stains on it, but the record is a good VG to VG Plus. I'm keeping this one too. I'm stoked for this. Man. Alright. Oh, I got to tell you about this too. A couple of things. If you have watched some of my past videos, I had this video, a recent past video, where I talked about going to the pawn shop and finding a box of just like these treasure records that had a little bit of damage to them. But this was one of them in there, and I had no idea what this was. This one was The Comfortable Chair, produced by John Densmore and Robbie Krieger of The Doors. I finally got around to cleaning and listening to this album. This is like instantly went way up on my list of really great psychedelic albums. Oh my gosh. It's kind of like late 60s West Coast, sort of like It's a Beautiful Day, maybe a little bit like H.P. Lovecraft, maybe a little bit of Jefferson Airplane mixed in there, but also a lot of their own thing too. But my gosh, this was a wonderful, wonderful album. If you dig psychedelic music, man, look this one up. It just blew my mind. And, oh, this one. This is for Randy at Dead Wax 66. He had talked about the Sonics on one of his recent live broadcasts. And me being, you know, getting an old, you know, becoming an old guy, sometimes my memory's a bit foggy, but he was talking about the Sonics and had an album called Sonics Boom, and he talked about like how expensive Sonics albums were, and I told him, I said, wow, my local record store had a copy of Sonics Boom for about $25, and he was like, whoa, really? I thought, wow, I didn't know it was that valuable. So anyway, I went back, and it was not Sonics Boom. It was the Savage Young Sonics. This is some really primitive recordings from Tacoma, 1961. Probably some high school party or something. But anyway, this is still a pretty cool record. This is a recent comp. It's not an original by any means of you know, late 60s or mid 60s Sonics. I wish they did have it. I wish that my memory was true and they did have the Sonics Boom for 20 or $25, but this was it. I just wanted to, Randy, if you're watching, this was the one, but I picked it up. So. All right, one last thing here. I want to talk about one of my favorite artists. I'm talking about a graphic artist, and became interested in this artist, particularly after seeing some of his books. This is Time Zone by Seti. It's pronounced Seti. And beautiful, beautiful graphic artist. Pardon my chair. I mean, he is just, I know that these don't do any justice, but love his artwork. Most of it is black and white. He does have a book that's got some color stuff in it. Let me find one of his color paintings right here. One of his color drawings. Very psychedelic. Love his artwork. Very out there. So this is Cosmic Bicycle, and I showed you Time Zone. I love these books, and here's a couple more. He also did illustrations. He did the illustrated Edgar Allan Poe, and once again, beautiful illustrations. It's got a lot of illustrations that go along with these stories and poems in here by Edgar Allan Poe. Let's dig that cover. The Annotated Dracula. Just amazing the detail that this artist put into his work. A lot of these are like the old-fashioned lithographs. It's just, he blows me away. And see, this one's got a lot more but even there, you can see it's got a lot of. It's the Bram Stoker's Dracula with his illustrations. But since this is a vinyl community, a couple of my favorite albums that he also did the artwork for. This is Sopwith Camel, The Miraculous Hump Returns from the Moon. Dig that cover. I love that. And this is a killer freaking album too. When was that? Early 70s, I'm sure. 1970, I believe. And here's another one that said he did the cover for. This is Gandharva by Beaver and Krause. And this is another killer album. Sort of, it's got some early ambient music in there. some good blues, some electronic music, a little bit of psychedelia, but dig that cover. So that's about all I wanted to go over with this video. I hope that y'all enjoyed some of these things. And like I said, I could have went so many different ways. There are so many albums and these stacks of stuff that I've got over the last few weeks. It's just boggled my mind. But in a good way. I love getting stuff like this. You know, I think, what was it, Steve at Value Vinyl? He's talked several times about getting a mountain of vinyl. People have been giving him so much, or he bought these collections of thousands of records. Well, this wasn't a mountain, but it was definitely a waterfall of records. So, till next time, peace and love, everybody. Cheers.